Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are from group 5 and the member is Meliana Arsala Sauda, Ornella Lutikanate, Yes Puji Utami, Firda Sofia Azahra, and I am Wini Estia, student number 399 as a first presenter. And today we will talk about tax class, and we want to tell you about 3 points about tax. First, direct tax and indirect tax. Second, uh, the case about tax and the meaning of tax. The first, I want to tell you about 3 sides about tax. The first, according to Indonesian Dictionary or KBBE, taxes are and compulsory collection based normally on money. The money is paid on population as compulsory donation to country or government. Tax are a nexus with income, owner, price to buy things, and so on. The second source from Professor Haji Rahmat Sumitro. He is study of public treasure to be enforced by law with immediate public service to be displayed and used to pay public expense. He said, tax is the transition of wealth from parties to financial institution to finance saving and use it for public investment. And the last source from Charles McClure. He said, tax or retribution is a financial obligation imposed on taxpayers by country or institution whose function is equal to that which used to finance various public expense.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Firda Sofia Azahra, number 2063, class H. Based on the class or method of collection, tax are grouped into first is direct tax and second is indirect tax. And then I will explain about direct tax. Direct tax is a tax which the burden must be borne by person concerned or taxpayer and cannot be transferred to other party. From an administrative perspective, direct tax is levied on the tax assessment letter or KOHIR, which is collected periodically. This tax is imposed on predetermined taxpayers. The party registers at the tax office is a taxpayer. Next is direct tax element. First is tax person, second is taxpayer, and third is tax burden bearer. First, tax person. Who is tax person? Tax person is who is formally juridical is required to pay tax if there are factors or events that cause the cost to be taxed. And next is taxpayer. Taxpayer is a person who in fact in an economic sense bears the tax burden. And third is tax burden bearer is those who according to the intent of the legislators must bear the tax burden or destinataries. If all 3 elements are present in one person, then the tax is called direct tax. In direct tax, all 3 elements can be found in one person. Individuals or agencies that are registered as responsible for taxation are also required to be the directors and bearers of the tax burden. And then types of direct tax. First is income tax, second is land and building tax, and third is vehicle tax.
Okay, I will continue explaining about an indirect tax. And before, my name is Meliana Arsala Sauda and my student number is 241. An indirect tax is a tax collected by an intermediary from the person who bears the ultimate economic burden of the tax. And then the intermediary later files a tax return and forward the tax process to government with the return. Indirect tax taxes are basically taxes that can be passed on to another entity or individual. It is usually imposed on a manufacturer or supplier who then passes on the tax to customer. The most common example of indirect tax is the excise tax on cigarettes and alcohol. Value-added tax (VAT) is also example of indirect tax. As we already know, there are three main elements on taxes. This is 1. Person in charge of tax, 2. Bearer of the tax burden, and 3. Tax bearer. So what is the relationship with this direct and indirect tax? Indirect tax, all three elements can be found in one person. Only one person. Individuals or agencies that are registered as responsible for taxation are also required to be the director and bearers of the tax burden. In contrast to indirect tax, the person in charge of the tax is not a burden of the tax burden and the tax bearer. There are two or more parties who are usually involved in this indirect tax payment process. Meaning of the sales tax is whenever people go to the mall or department store to shop, they are already about to pay indirect tax. Goods such as household items, clothing, and other basic commodities are subject to such types of tax. Upon payment at the counter, the final sale price is paid with a sales tax that the store collects and pays to the government. And next, excise tax. Excise tax is also very common. When a manufacturer buys the raw material for the company product, for example, tobacco for cigarette companies, they already need to pay indirect tax on the items. Through a part of the normal course of business, manufacturer can pass on the burden to the consumer by selling the cigarettes at higher price. Number 3 is custom tax. Ever wonder why imported products are expensive? It is because of custom tax. When a container filled with bananas from another country enters the US, the importer pays indirect tax. It is the custom tax, which is then passed on the customer. Number 4 is gas tax. Yes, buying gasoline for the vehicles contain an indirect tax.
Next, my name is Ornella Kikanate. My student ID number is 261. I'm from Group 5. I will explain about the example of direct tax. PT Asian Agri Group. PT AAG is the one of the biggest, second largest holding companies in the Raja Garuda Mas Group. It's owned by Sukanto Tanoto. According to the Forbes magazine, in 2006, Tanoto was the richest family in Indonesia, with a fortune is 2.8 billion US dollars. In addition, PTAAG, there are other companies under the auspices of the Raja Garuda Mas Group, including Asia Pacific Resource, International Holding Limited April, Indorayan, PEC Tech, Sateri International, and Pacific Oil and Gas. Specifically, PTAAG owns 200,000 hectares of oil palm, rubber, and cocoa land in Indonesia, Philippines, Malaysia, Thailand in Asia. PTAAG is the one of biggest producers of crude palm oil, which has 19 factories producing 1 million tons of crude palm oil, in addition to 3 cooking oil completion of the case. Then, the settlement of tax criminal offense by the Asian Agri Group, even though it falls into the category of active resistance to tax, can still be resolved outside in the court hearing. Thus, our hope depends on the Minister of Finance and Attorney General as the most decisive party in the process of solving this tax crime. Next, Asian Agri Group finally sent a letter objection to the Directorate General of Tax related to the tax assessment letter to its 14 subsidiary companies. The oil palm plantation company owned by Tycoon Sukanto Tanoto sent an objection letter after paying 969.675 billion or 49% of the total tax payable, which reached 1.95. What the lessons that can be drawn from the case? In the Asian Agri Group tax dispute case, it was explained that Asian Agri carried out the tax evasion that led to state losses. Therefore, the tax court is required to be wise in investigating and resolving problems in the case in accordance with the provisions of the applicable law.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Tias Puji Utami, student number 262. I will give an example of indirect tax. This case from the director of transportation company in Semarang. In 2016, CV Bumiraya, the director of transportation company in Semarang, submit a notification letter of value-added tax period with content that does not match with reality. So, the director is in prison for 7 months. The judge, the director, proven to submit incorrect tax returns during the January to December in 2007 tax period. This fraudulent act was carried by the director by making a tax invoice that was not based on actual economic transaction. The lesson can be drawn from this case is something is done dishonestly and we will definitely get something that is not good too. So what you give is what you get. If you do a good things, surely you will get more. Next, conclusion of our presentation. Based on class, taxes are grouped into two: the direct tax, example income tax, and indirect tax, example value added tax. For everyone, the lesson from the cases is please pay taxes honestly for the progress of our country. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.